What's your name again? I'm sorry.
Dwight McCarran.
Dwight McCarran?
Well, I live on Highland Street. I live on Ames Long Pond. This guy kept his journal on an Ames almanac. So Ames, another line of the family, wrote the most popular almanac in the 1760s. I mean, much more popular than Franklin's. So people would buy this almanac, and then it had a blank page here, and often people would keep their little journal of the things that they did over on this side.
Wow.
So this is the handwritten version of it, about the steeple breaking and whatnot, and I've transcribed some of the things that were in the journal.
How did they obtain these original documents?
This one was given to us by, actually, a man named Joshua Britton gave us a lot of old almanacs.
Oh, okay.
And someone, one of our members, Howard Hanson, back before I got in the society, happened to pick up one and open it.
Yeah, yeah.
And there in it was this journal, written in it by Elijah Dunbar, who's very famous over in the Canton-Stoughton side. I mean, he was like the first school teacher in the Canton-Stoughten area. His father was Samuel Dunbar, who spoke at the Doty Tavern where the Suffolk Resolves came about. So, I mean, he then eventually ended up spending his whole life in, well, what was Stoughton then. Right. It was all Stoughton, that whole big triangle that was on this map here. The Dorchester Purchase consisted of, from the Great Blue Hill here, came out in a big triangle till it hit the Easton line.
That's what it was called, the Dorchester Purchase.
Right.
Wow.
Just like the Taunton North Purchase is what you are here. Taunton North Purchase came from Taunton up.
Oh, I see.
So whereas they sold the land here this way out.
When you say they, who's they?
Well, the town of Dorchester was given the grant by the king.
Okay.
They made a treaty with the 6,000 acres for just Indians.
Right.
Didn't turn out so well because within 100 years, you know, the whites had gotten in there. Here's, as you come down, here's the Neponset River. Here is Lake Massapog. Here is Bay Road. And that's where Bay Road hits Easton, right here.
So this is of Stoughton that we're looking at. Yeah.
Yes. And then at that point, it was all called Old Stoughton. But then Sharon broke off and became Stoughtonham. Canton broke off and became Canton, even though Canton was the oldest part because that's where people came first.
Yeah,
but since they took a new name, they got a new founding date. Whereas we in Stoughton, who settled probably, 100 years after them, well, 50 years after them, we still have the earliest founding date because we kept the name.
What year did this all happen?
1726 is when they were incorporated. They had their first town meeting.
Yeah. And
then Sharon broke off, I think, in 1750 and Canton in 1790. If you look at it, you can actually see the lots they had in the past and the names of the first street. This is Ames Pond before it was Ames Pond. It was Trout Brook. It was just a brook. Then eventually some Stoughton people dammed it up in the 1700s. Oliver then dammed it up right here in 1825 and really created what we now know as Ames Pond.
What was Easton before it was Easton?
Norton.
It's part of
well,
Norton.
Yeah, here they call it Norton. That was just the name for it.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you'd have to ask Ed.
So it was Norton for quite a while before it became Easton?
That's Ed Hand's question.
Ed Hand, yeah. Interesting.
Ed, Easton and stopped being called Norton. Wasn't it originally at all Norton?
Well, they chose the name Easton by 1725 when they incorporated the town.
Okay.
Oh, that's right, that anniversary is coming up.
1725, okay.
Yeah, so they beat us by a year. We were incorporated in 1726.
Wow.
And you guys were
But it was
1725.
known as the east end of the Taunton North Purchase. Then it became the east end of Norton, more or less, as a neighborhood, and it kind of became a corruption of that to Easton. That's the way I always understood it.
Because on the map that I have, the old map, it shows when over the line, it says Norton. It doesn't say Easton on these really old maps that we have.
Yeah, oh yeah,
Yeah.
before the 25, yeah, 1725, yeah.
Yeah, there's
Interesting.
been rumors that it was named after Governor Easton.
I have to go out to the car to get
it definitely was not.